India Part 3. It's a big place. It's a lot of music. It's a lot of little videos. So I wanted to do a special one on just rhythm and meter, the tala or the tal. So there are groupings of beats and subdivisions of beats, and they're very complicated. So if we look down at the bottom of this slide, you'll notice that they say a shorthand way of writing the meter would be 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3. So these are often large patterns of asymmetrical groupings. Quintuple and groups of 1.5 can occur. It's a very complicated rhythmic thing. And here's another example that you've got a grouping of 2, of 3, of 2, a grouping of 1.5. So half of a grouping. If you watch people being taught these rhythms, they're not taught counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 the way we would do, but they're counted using syllables in a way that seems extraordinarily natural. Just as the melodic concepts are done using syllables, much as we would say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And if you go to a professional musician and say, la, they know that you probably mean the note A, unless they were trained in the movable do context as I was, and then they'll think first, well, you probably mean A, and they'll think secondly, you mean the 6th scale degree. So patterns of beats in the tala, with stress usually on the first beat of the cycle. So sam is the rhythmic version of sa. And it's a very complex way of looking at things when you write it down. But when we watch this guy, it's really not that complicated. You can see how this music works very well translated or transmitted by oral tradition, but doesn't necessarily translate well to PowerPoint.
So now let's review very quickly Tal Kaherwa, which is 8 beat. So it goes as dha, ge, na, tin, na, ge, din, na, dha, ge, na, tin, na, ge, din, na, dha, ge, na, tin, ge, din, na, dha, ge, na, tin, na, ka, din, na, dha, ge, na, ka, din, na, dha, ge, na, tin, na, ka, din, na, dha. This tal is used quite a bit in popular tabla playing. It's very exotic in terms of the feel. It's very jubilant and very exciting tal. So it goes like da, di, da, 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 din, da, da, di, da, din, da, ka, din, da, da, ka, din, da, da, din, da, ka, din,
I think variation might be too involved for us right now in this short video, but you can see how it makes perfect sense when he's using these syllables to describe these rhythmic units. But if we were trying to count it out 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.5, it would be complex and confusing in a way that doesn't really works. And the other thing is that they actually have an empty sound or a de-emphasized beat. So we can bind these together to create these beat patterns. And here you can see an example of Tintal. And if you look up Tintal, you'll be able to find someone playing this da din din da da din din da da tin tin ta ta din din da. And you'll notice that he has an action: clap, count, wave, count. So the wave is this unemphasized note or part of the pattern or part of the beat. So here's another example of a beat pattern. And so this is all memorized. This is all internalized, just as you would internalize or learn an epic song, or you would internalize dance steps, or other motions that you might use in other activities and sports activities. It all combines together. And this is a move into songs and examples. And we do have a concept that much of the music is instrumental because of people like Ravi Shankar, but in fact it often is different. It is often vocal as well. I'm going to let you work through the North Indian and South Indian vocal music on your own. It's pretty self-explanatory and makes a lot of sense. The one thing I do want to point out is that when we get a little further down, again, here where they've outlined the sagama, this outlining at the bottom is not something that I think is really valuable for us to spend a lot of time looking at. So it's something that we want to not spend that much time with. Ball music, filmy music, and Bollywood music is also something that's really important, and I would recommend strongly watching this filmy clip. It's a very famous clip. If I've put the right one here, it involves a dance and song sequence filmed on top of a moving train. And it's really spectacular, and it was really filmed on top of a moving train. It's not green screened. I'm not sure how the health and safety people let it be done this way, but it was. So, we'll probably talk a little bit more about Ravi Shankar in one more India video. Thanks.